vagina. So, okay, but now we're at the halfway point. I know on the flyer I said I was going to read short stories from my forthcoming novel, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a stand-up comedy routine that nobody asked for. I've never done one of these, okay? All right?
Yeah. Sell yourself. With Wait, it was the wrong direction the whole time?
You're just reading the wrong side.
No, we're doing all right. It's the right side. Okay, I'm going to start with a couple jokes about something we can all relate to, okay? All right, who here's had a job before? I can't hear you. We all have to put food on the table, right? That's not very loud, pretty quiet. Maybe there's some people here who are retired already. Raise your hand if you're retired. Oh, sweet. Okay, so you can be quiet here. You don't have to cheer. But who needs to work to put food on the table, okay? You know, like, okay, now we can start, okay. I have a hard time working 8 hours a day. I always have. I thought about it a lot, and I'm not exactly positive why that is. But I think one of the big reasons for it is that I always get there late, and I leave early. Thank you. You ever get home from work a little early on one of those days that you don't quite make it a full 8 hours, and you look at the clock and it says 3:75, and you're like, huh? And you like scratch your head, and you're like, what? And then you realize you left the oven on all day? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it for my.
That bread is burnt.
Yeah, it's burnt. But that's it for my working man jokes. Now I got my shoe tying jokes, okay? When I'm tying shoes on at a shoe store, if I'm struggling to tie them, I like to tell the guy helping me that I'm usually way better at tying my shoes. That today is a weird exception, and I'll start huffing and puffing it, trying to catch my breath and saying, I'm not cut out for this stupid thing. And then I'll ask if they have any resources for me. They never do, and they always make it worse. So I stripped the shoes off my feet I was tying, I thrust them at the shoe helper with panic in my eyes. I said, don't tell anybody about this. You can keep my shoes too if you don't tell anyone. I don't give them any time to answer before I run away, and just my socks, and they never see me again. I'm in the next town over, and they never know what happened. When I'm tying my shoes at a grocery store though, you know, like if they come on time while I'm shopping really hard, and the produce person tries to take that opportunity to sell me more shoes when I'm at my most vulnerable, I say, yeah, let me see what you got, you know. And then when they show me the shoes that just look like blurry eggplants, I don't have my glasses on, but they still don't really fool me. I say, no way, lady, what's your angle here? I don't trust you at all. And I get away from her as fast as I can and don't look back. But I always pull a fast one on them in the self-checkout line. For my eggplants, I put my shoes on the scale instead of the eggplants, and I save a lot of money. Some people think it's stealing, but it's a big box store. You know, they'll be okay. I got a one-liner here. I love looking at my shadow and saying, is that really what I look like? Just a whole joke. In the morning when it's multivitamin time at my house for my whole family, before school and work, I like to make a big fuss about making sure I get mine first. I storm up to the cabinet and I gobble up my pills in front of them like how on an airplane you're supposed to get your own oxygen before you help anyone else out. I look them in the eyes too when I'm eating my adult gummy vitamins, and then I calm way down and I help them get theirs. All right, so I got a foot-long sub the other day, probably actually about 13 years ago now.
What kind?
I think it was probably veggie at that time in my life. And the lady asks me, she says, would you like to make that a meal? And with chips and a soda, you know? So I said, no thanks, I'll just keep it as a snack. Am I right? It's a 12-inch food already. Meal? Give me a break, you know? All right, there's this cool store near my house, and they sell piggy banks for $10.50 before tax. I mean after tax. Anyway, so each time I save that much change in my daily life, I put it all in my piggy bank and bring it back to that cool store where I bought it. And flag down an attendant, and then I smash it right there on the floor by the register, and I surprise them by pulling out the exact amount of change from the pile of broken piggy bank. And I say, I'll take a new piggy bank, please. They don't believe me that it's the right change at first until they count it, but it always is. Okay, anyway, so I've always cooked my food with Teflon nonstick pans. Okay, let's hear it. Boo me out, I can take it. Come on, I've heard it all. Teflon equals cancer. Teflon's made by DuPont. You're funding the military industrial complex. Boo, come on. I've heard it all. Well, anyway, I was hesitant to try to start cooking with cast iron pans, but over the last couple years, it's actually made me a much stronger cook. Because those things are so heavy. Check out how strong I am now. Patrick, can you get that bucket, please? Thank you. My water bottle. I'm gonna need that. Hold on. Look at that.
Two was enough. Two was enough.
I'll tell you this. Thank you. Let's see here. Wouldn't it be cool if different plants grew in the winter, like in the snow? Like if snow was their soil? Am I right? All right. Thank you. That's it for the joke part. And now there's one more thing for you tonight. I'm gonna make a paper airplane, and I'm gonna throw it at the crowd. Okay? Whoever gets the plane gets a really nice prize. Okay? So don't be scared. Okay? Looks like I got one made already.
Good job. Wait, who gets the prize?
Whoever gets the airplane.
Oh, okay.
So everybody get in the center if you want a chance to get an airplane. I'm gonna throw it right
Hey,
down the center.
everybody!
You guys want this prize? What'd you say? I don't think I know. Ready? Set. Go!
It's you!
Son, get the prize. Whoa! Terrible. I got you in the face. I'm so sorry. That was scary. Who got the prize? Come on up and get it. It's a pillowcase. It says "Birth of a Salesman." It says right here, Samuel Robertson displays a copy of his illustrated Old Testament in his now iconic briefcase. America's Bible. And don't forget, when you set your clocks back, to also set www.americasbible.com on your computer, so you'll be among the first to hear any great news about the podcast. Sweet dreams. Thank you for participating. And then last thing is just, if you want updates about Birth of the Salesman podcast, you got three options, okay? You could check out americasbible.com. You can go to my Instagram at Sam Robertson Art, or sign up for my newsletter in this notebook right here. And I'll leave it on the table over there, but thank you for being so interactive, and it was really fun. Thank you guys. I'm so excited for what's next, and thanks to Patrick and Dan for setting this up. And it's a really special, I'll turn this off because I know what it's like to be looked at by a light. That stinks, but This is a really special place, and it's really cool that it's been going for so long. I love coming to Tiny Tuesdays, and for those of you who it's your first time, I hope you keep coming back to more, because there's always something like really fresh and special coming through these doors, and it's like a really cool, unique thing on Tuesdays. So thank you so much.